Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the midweek market update. So, guys, in this session, I'm going to be updating you on the pairs that I've been focusing on from Sunday up until today. So, we're going to be taking a look at those pairs, how have they been progressing, and we're also going to be forecasting our entries in advance. So, the first pair that we're going to be looking at is going to be the DXY, which is the dollar index. Now, the dollar index, let us jump into the daily time frame. So, on the daily time frame, we do see that this did come from what this impulsive movement gave us this overall corrective structure price forming a breakout. So overall, this is having a high probability of continuing with this momentum all the way to the upside. And also moving on to our mid-time frame. So on the mid-time frame, the only thing that we can see at the moment is what is this small correction that is caused by this week. But this corrective structure is even more clearer on the lower time frame. As you can see over here, we do have our impulse. This is our overall corrective structure. And this is what mini confirmation, the small continuation that you can see over here, and also this current structure that is forming. It's forming to be what a continuation pattern that when it breaks out, this is going to be having a high probability of impulsing all the way to the upside. So the DXY overall is been playing out as we've been predicting by giving us what that momentum all the way to the upside. Now using that DXY, let us get into the Euro USD. Now with the Euro USD, let us start by jumping on the high time frame. So on the daily, similar to what we did speak about on the DXY, but in the opposite direction, this is our impulse. This is what our overall corrective structure price forming a breakout starting to drop. So this is having a high probability of continuing that momentum to the downside. And also jumping onto our mid time frame. So on the mid time frame on this one at the moment, we don't have anything much. But as we are moving on to the lower time frame, we do see that price did give us what this is our overall continuation pattern that's from the breakout, and we took an entry on the breakout. So this is currently running in as profit. So this would have been what a second entry over here on this one, but unfortunately could not execute this one. But currently I am seeing the price is in the process of giving out what another scaling opportunity. So this is how we look to enter this one. So entry on the breakout, stop loss above the structure, and I'll take profit. We're looking at something for a potential 2% on this one. So that is it on Euro US dollar. So on USD CHF, so let me give you a breakdown on this one. So on this one, we're looking at this as our impulsive move. This is what our overall corrective structure, price forming a breakout. So we're expecting for this to continue to climb up. So on the mid time frame, we did not see anything much, but on the lower time frame, that continuation structure was very clear. So this one went and hit take profit, and price at the moment over here did give what another potential entry, as you can see over here. But due to the time, we could not execute this one. But this is how it would have entered. Enter on the breakout, stop loss below the structure, and take profit. You're looking for at least 2% on this one. So somewhere around there, as you can see, we are close to hitting take profit on this one. So that is it on that one. And now the final pair, the next pair is what the AUD over the USD. So this one on the daily, you have this is our impulsive move. This is our overall corrective structure. So overall, this is having a high probability of impulsing down. And now as we're moving on to our mid-time frame, we do have what this is our overall continuation pattern. As you can see, this is breaking out to drop to the downside. So on the lower time frame, in terms of entry, what are we looking for? So on this one, this is how we are looking at executing. So we're waiting for price to give us a corrective structure because we already have what an impulsive movement. So all that we're looking for is just a small corrective structure that we can use to enter, like so. Enter on the breakout, stop loss above structure, and take profit for something like 2%, because 2% is more realistic, guys. So it's nicer to execute consistent profits than for you to chase big unrealistic profits. So I'm choosing to take what small realistic take profits of 2% and waiting to see how price reacts. And now for our next pair, we're having what the euro over the Australian dollar. So this one, let us start by going to the high time frame. So in the higher time frame, this is our impulsive move. This is our corrective structure, price forming a breakout. So overall, this is having a higher probability of impulsing to the downside. And now we're jumping onto our mid-time frame. So in the mid-time frame, the only way to have this clear is we look at the impulsive movement, and this is giving us, this is our overall corrective structure, as you can see. So once this does break, this is having what the higher probability of impulsing all the way to the downside. And on the lower time frame, in terms of our entry, how are we looking to execute an entry on this one? So this one, this is how we're looking to execute. Wait for an impulsive movement and then for price to give us what a small corrective structure. Once you do have that, then this is how we'll enter on the corrective structure. Going to enter on the breakout. This is our stop loss above the structure, and our take profit. We're looking to exit somewhere around 2%. Nice and simple on this one. Now into our next bet, which is the Australian dollar over the Canadian dollar. It's going to the daily. So on the daily, we do have what this is our impulsive movement. This is our corrective structure. So this is having a higher probability of impulsing to the downside. And now on our mid-time frame, what are we seeing in the mid-time frame? So in the mid-time frame, we did see price giving us this continuation pattern out from the breakout, and then we dropped in the lower time frame to look for an entry pattern. So on the lower time frame, we did get that this is an entry pattern, price dropping down. As you can see, we almost did hit our take profit, but price reached somewhere around 1.9%, and it's currently moving up to take, I think, half of those profits, but stop loss has been already moved to break even. So how we are looking at this pair for our next potential interest for this to impulse down, form a small corrective structure like so, and then that would be more than sufficient in order for us to do it, to execute an interest sell on this one to profit around 2%. So this is how I'm looking at the AUD CAD. Now let us move on. So that was the final packer. So that is how the markets have been developing on my end. So this one's a bit disappointing because it almost reached take profit, but it's going back to take those profits back. But stop loss has been moved to break even. So we are not losing anything much on this trade. And your AUD, we are simply waiting for an intro on that one. And AUD USD, we are also waiting for an intro on that one. So USD has played out nicely. So if you can take a look at the session that I did host on Sunday and also on Monday, you will see that we did speak about USD and it played out exactly as we anticipated. And the Euro USD, which has been a favorite pair for this week, has been also been performing nicely, but we are still waiting to see whether this first trade will he take profit, and we'll see whether this second trade, how will it perform, will also drop down and also give us some profits. But it's looking like it will, because the Euro USD is moving what exact opposite direction with the DXY, and the DXY is in that phase where it's giving what the corrective structure. We're just waiting for this to break out and impulse to the upside. So guys, hopefully this session was very informative for you. So this is going to be the end of the session, and I'll keep on updating you under mentor trade ideas as these pairs continue to develop throughout the day. So for now, this is the end, guys, and I'll see you next time.